Hi everyone, Johnny Gadget here. The iPad mini 7 was released on October last year, and it promised to address a lot of the issues that were found on the iPad mini 6, plus the addition of Apple Intelligence and compatibility with the Apple Pencils. Has Apple delivered on their promise? Stay tuned and let's find out. One of the biggest selling points about the iPad mini 7 is the integration of Apple Intelligence. Siri is now definitely more useful and productive. She can now help you fix paragraphs as you're typing them. She can also provide information about live events, such as actual scores in sports, and basic weather or traffic checks. But Siri also has an extension to ChatGPT, which allows her to complete more complex requests. In the front area, we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, which comes pretty handy when it comes to conducting FaceTime. And sadly, the large bezels around the edges of the screen. In the upper area of the device, we have two pairs of stereo speakers. And in the corner, we have our power button, which also serves as our fingerprint reader. And it's actually pretty fast and smooth. And you also got your volume rockers, conveniently located, regardless if you're using the iPad on landscape or portrait mode. On the bottom of the device, we have another extra set of stereo speakers, giving you an immersive total of 4 speakers and a USB Type-C input for charging and data transfer. As for the back of the device, we have another 12 megapixel wide camera, which is handy for quick shots, but its quality leaves a lot to be desired. So be warned, do not buy this device exclusively for its cameras. On the left side, we have a flat surface with no buttons, and on the right side, you have a magnetic strip here to attach your Apple Pencil Pro, but more on that later. The refresh rate on the iPad mini 7 is only 60 Hz. I personally don't mind much, but if you come from a more advanced phone with a much higher refresh rate, like 120 or 144, you will definitely notice the difference. One area that Apple did improve this device on was the jelly scrolling that was plaguing the iPad mini 6. If you're not familiar with this issue, it was a problem when you used to scroll down and the words on the screen or the text will become basically unreadable, and I did not experience that here. Media consumption is also a great aspect of this device. The screen offers some decent colors, and the 4 speakers produce a very immersive and clear sound. Another neat feature of this device is its compatibility with the Apple Pencil. If you are the kind of person who likes to take notes written by hand, you're definitely gonna love this feature. Writing on the iPad mini 7 using the Pencil Pro was the closest experience to writing with paper and pencil. At the moment, only the second generation with a USB-C and the Apple Pencil Pro are compatible with the iPad mini 7. But the versatility of the Pencil Pro extends beyond just writing. This can also be handy if you're into sketching, architecture, or simply coloring therapy to help you relax or develop further your artistic skills. And once you're done, you can simply place your Apple Pencil Pro on the right side of the device, where you can magnetically attach to it and remain pretty secure in place. Another area where the iPad mini 7 really shines is gaming. For this, I'm actually gonna use my DualSense controller, as it offers a smooth connectivity to iOS and an amazing compatibility with the iPad, allowing me to switch menus with the bumpers and select the application that I want with the D-pad. Let's start off here with some fast-paced multiplayer. Let's give Call of Duty a shot. It runs very smooth, with some very decent graphics and a great frame rate. Another action fast-paced title is Devil May Cry. And this is a game that even some phones have trouble running it. But the iPad mini does a good job at keeping the pace with the frame rate and the graphics. I also gave Diablo a shot, as this game can also be graphically demanding, especially when you have a lot going on the screen. we can definitely see some dips in frame rate. And Diablo is definitely one of those games that actually put the iPad mini to the test. Thanks to the A17 chip, the iPad mini 7 has the ability to play the handful of AAA titles that are available at the App Store. AAA games such as the Assassin's Creed or the Resident Evil line can now be purchased and played. However, you'll have to be willing to make some sacrifices here. In order to make these games run smooth, you do have to bring the resolution to some pretty low levels. Otherwise, you have to be willing to deal with some issues such as frame rate drops, controller lagging, and sudden crashes. My favorite gaming feature of the iPad mini 7 is its ability to stream or remote play. It can connect to your PS5, Xbox Series, or your PC smoothly and effectively as long as you have a decent internet connection. Also, if you have paid premium services such as GeForce Now, Amazon Luna, or Game Pass, you're going to be really happy with the iPad mini 7. Since all these services have apps that are optimized to work smoothly with the iPad mini 7, giving you a console-like experience while preventing the iPad from overheating since you're not running the games natively, but rather using your network, or in the case of GeForce Now, using the NVIDIA servers to give you the ultimate gaming experience. As you may know, Apple finally allowed emulators to join the iOS ecosystem. At the time of this review, you can go as far as PSP. And surprisingly, the system is able to run challenging titles such as Chains of Olympus from the God of War saga or Killzone Liberation, which are titles that are pretty difficult to run on regular systems. And I was able to run these games at 4 times their native resolution, essentially 1080p. So, in conclusion, I believe that the iPad mini 7 is a solid device. Apple Intelligence is not exactly what it needs to be, but the fact that it's integrated in the iPad mini 7 is a step in the right direction and it makes it future-proof. Not to mention the innovative ways that you can actually use the Pencil Pro, which you can use for entertainment but also at a professional level. And last but not least, there's gaming and the many options that the iPad mini 7 offers. Regardless of whether you're streaming, playing games natively, or emulating, it's quite a good experience. And I think at $499 for the 128GB entry, it's definitely worth its value, considering what this system offers and the future support that we predict from Apple. Well, let me know your thoughts on the iPad mini 7. Do you think what it offers justifies its value? Please leave your comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, Johnny Gadget, reviewing the gadgets first so you can choose to buy them later. Thanks for watching.